morning. It's Wednesday, November 8th, 2023. Peace is a part of the prosperity of a nation. Let peace reign. On the news this morning, Apex Ijaw Group tackles former Governor Wike. Port Harcourt residents concerned over fresh hike in transportation fare. Student calls for NIN enrollment in schools as WAEC registration begins. Organized Labour declares nationwide strike. And on the foreign scene, New State of Ohio votes for abortion rights. I am Ifechuku Moyinli with the news. The Apex Social Cultural Organization of the Ijaw Ethnic Nationality, the Ijaw National Congress INC Eastern Zone, has called on President Bola Tinubu to call the FCT Minister and former Governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, to order. At a press conference in Port Harcourt, INC Eastern Zone spokesman Ibiosia Nath Sukubo blamed the recent political crisis on the FCT Minister's alleged overbearing influence.
We, the Ijaw National Congress Eastern Zone, state with equanimity that the continued meddling of affairs in governance by the former Rivers State Governor, Chief Barrister Ezempunwo Wike, had further exacerbated Oporombio. And this in itself is amounting to negative effect in the state. So if you claim that you make a governor and hope that you want to use him as a contumelous stratagem, as a subterfuge to siphon the economy of Rivers State, we the Rivers State people will vehemently resist it.
Mr. Nath Sukubo also dissociated the group from a statement credited to some elders of Rivers State on the recent political crisis.
Those elders have not spoken for the generality of the River State people. They have spoken to satisfy the embers of their paymaster. We are dissociating ourselves from the gregarious elders. They are not River State elders. And we have found it egregious for them to have taken that stance. It is not for the interest of River State people. It is not for the interest of the progress and development of River State people. Enough is enough. Let's him breathe. Do not suffocate him.
He also accused former Governor Nyesom Wike of failing to keep his promise of not interfering in the affairs of his successor. Meanwhile, a former lawmaker, Cletus Obum, says PDP constitution only recognizes the state party chairman as leader of the party in Rivers State. Mr. Obum was reacting to the statement by the State Commissioner for Housing, Gift Wallo, that former Governor Nyesom Wike remains the leader of the PDP in Rivers State.
The party constitution is very clear about executive positions, principal officers, which you call executive committee, either at the state, at the ward, or at the zonal, or at the national level. The person who leads the party at all times is the party chairman. It was a constitution that originated from Obasanjo. They introduced it. There is nowhere. It is not constitutional. It is not convention. It is just an introduction of an extraneous activity and action that has no whatsoever with any party.
Moving on, there's been a fresh increase in the cost of transportation within Port Harcourt, and residents are not happy about this. It followed a fresh increase in the price of petrol to about 670 naira per litre in some filling stations in the city. Our correspondent spoke to some commuters along the old Port Harcourt Township, Aba Road, and Ada George axis. In the meantime, some motorists say that bad condition of the Obiwali Road in Rumibo area of Port Harcourt is worrisome. They spoke to correspondent Suyobiu Ruwari.
The road has been very bad, and for so many years now we have been trying to patch it every year. It still remains bad, and the road was initially awarded by NDTC and it was abandoned. We appreciate if they revisit this our road.
All efforts made by the community to see that the job is re-awarded, the contractor come back to site was aborted. Know the capacity of the commission, present MD.
So we tried as much as we could to see, writing letters, sending delegates. We used to hold prayers for this work to be done. We are still appealing. The way we have seen the present MD, we see the man as somebody who has a heart, and that he cannot see his fellow Niger Delta person suffering in this type of thing. Other routes have been carried out, constructed, the ones that are worse than this one.
Our correspondent reports that the Obiwali Road is one of the major routes to the East-West Road and the area access of Port Harcourt, the River State capital. Away from that, some students in Port Harcourt are calling on the National Identity Management Commission, NIMC, to move enrollment for the national identification number to schools. This is as long queues of students resurface at the NIMC office in Port Harcourt following the start of registration for the 2024-2025 West Africa Examination Council exams. Our correspondent reports that enrollees, especially school children in uniforms, were seen at NIMC office during school hours. Some of the students spoke to our correspondent.
We are supposed to be in school studying, but yeah, we are here in NIN office trying to get our NIN. They asked us to pick a form. In the form, they will go something there that the form is not for sale, but they are still selling it 100 now. They're supposed to bring this thing to school, so it will be easy for us.
I need the NIN because of my work and jam. There is no payment, but it's stressful because of people in the school learning while we are here.
We are supposed to be learning, and we are students, so leaving school, skipping classes for this is uncalled for. They should bring their officials, everything that we are supposed to do, form, everything. They're supposed to bring it to schools.
The reason why we are standing on these queues is because we don't have money to go and pay other agents. Some persons take 5,000, some persons take as high as 7,000.
NIN enrollment at the NIMC office is free, but their agents in various parts of Port Harcourt charge an enrollment fee between 4,000 naira and 7,500 naira for fresh enrollment and 2,000 naira and 3,500 naira for reprinting of the NIN slip. As you may know, the WAEC examination now requires an NIN for registration. WAEC started registration on October 30th, 2023 and will end on January 31st, 2024. Still to come, organized labor declares nationwide strike state.
Niger people don't come hope.
Igbo stakeholders in Rivers State, Uchenna Okokoba, has described as false the statement by his spokesperson Felix Onwuma that Eze Innocent Adiele remains the Eze Ndibo in Rivers and Bayelsa State. Mr. Okokoba clarified in an interview that Eze Adiele's reign ended in 2022 and he handed it over to Eze Samoblo in a well-attended coronation. Mr. Okokoba said Mr. Onwuma does not have the capacity to speak on matters surrounding the Ezigbo stool without approval.
Mazi Feris Onwuma is my spokesperson, and he has no right to speak about the Ezeship. The current Eze Ndibo, Imperial Majesty, Eze Samwokoro, that is the only current Eze we have now. Former Eze is Adele Managu. They handed over to Imperial Majesty. Last year, Imperial Majesty Eze Samwokoro have performed traditional cultural New Year festival last year, and that is the only Eze who have performed that. All the entire Igbo community, all 5 speaking Igbo states, all of them recognize him.
The chairman of Obiakpo local government area, George Ariolo, says his administration will continue to prioritize both formal and non-formal education to boost human capacity development and tackle crime in the area. Mr. Ariolo said this at the commissioning of the remodeled postgraduate hostels undertaken by his administration at Rivers State University.
Our administration is committed to the training of 300, but so far we have done 208 as it has to do with our postgraduate grant. Out of the 208, we have enabled 100 of them to achieve their PhD pursuit in various universities in Rivers State, and we have enabled 108 to achieve this purpose within the master's degree category. That is our own contribution to the educational well-being of not just Obiakpo local government alone, of the state and the nation in general. The beneficiaries are not only Obiakpo indigenes.
The Vice Chancellor of Rivers State University, Professor Nlerum Okobule, also spoke.
Today, I'm a very happy man because my former student has made me proud. You see, that's one of the joys that teachers have. Every good teacher will always be happy when his former student is doing very, very well. And I'm very, very proud that my former student is showcasing Rivers State University very, very well. And he did not just start as an alumnus of Rivers State University. He's borrowing from somebody, another alumnus of Rivers State University as well. The former governor of Rivers State, His Excellency Ezebonyi Sonwike.
The Nigeria Labour Congress (NLC) and the Trade Union Congress (TUC) have ordered an immediate shutdown of light and power supply in Imo State. They also plan to begin a strike next Tuesday. The leadership of the two unions reached a resolution after their meeting in Abuja on Tuesday. It followed the attack on the NLC National President Joe Ajaero last week in Imo State. TUC President Festus Osifo spoke on this.
He went there to advocate for people who could not advocate for themselves. And at the end of the day, what happened turned out that way. For us, it is a no. So when we do that in Imo tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, and through the weekend, then we'll now get to Monday. If the government, because we have asked some certain things that must be done. So if the government refuse to do those things, then we are going to call for a total shutdown of the nation effective Tuesday next week.
And on the international scene, the U.S. state of Ohio has voted to enshrine abortion rights in its constitution on Tuesday, marking a major victory for pro-choice campaigners in the state. That's a wrap on the news this morning. Before we go, let's have a look at the major stories. The Apex Ijaw Group has tackled former Governor Wike over the political crisis in Rivers State. And on the foreign scene, the U.S. state of Ohio has voted for abortion rights. The news was edited by Chioma Ezewafo. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808-721-7215. I am Ifechukwu Monyeli. Many thanks for listening.